Hey TIR family, how's it going? I'm Dylan, Chris's son, and also Karen's son, and a pilot. I'm joining the channel to bring you some mystery content from not only the aviation side, but also modern day mystery content like real life disappearances, strange incidents, and different like behind the scenes stories, not only from the cockpit, but from people on the ground, like my dad does. So if you love mysteries and want to see what happens when the unknown takes to the skies, you're in the right place. All right, without further ado, today we're going to be talking about the mystery of D.B. Cooper. I'm sure many of you have heard of this story, where one night before Thanksgiving in 1971, a man in a dark suit hijacked a Boeing 727. He was reported to be quiet and polite, but after some time on the plane, he decided to tell a flight attendant that he had a bomb in his briefcase. He requested $200,000 and 4 parachutes. And then somewhere over the rugged Pacific Northwest, he did something absolutely crazy. He jumped from the plane's rear stairwell into the freezing storm and completely vanished. Out of sight, out of thin air. What followed was one of the largest and most insane and baffling manhunts in American history. However, he was never seen again. He wasn't seen dead, wasn't seen alive. Who was this guy, and how did he actually pull off that crime? So let's go back to that day on November 24th, 1971. So Northwest Orient Airlines Flight 305 was a Boeing 727 on the tarmac in Portland, Oregon. Standard holiday travel scene, families, people heading home for Thanksgiving. And among all these passengers was this man in the business suit carrying a briefcase. He bought his ticket under the name Dan Cooper, and a media mistake would later dub him DB Cooper. And that's kind of how the name stuck with him, right? So shortly after takeoff, he handed a note to a flight attendant. She assumed he was a lonely businessman trying to give her his number. So she pocketed it. She just kept it. And he eventually leaned over and whispered, "Miss, you better look at that note, because I have a bomb." And her heart immediately stopped. The note clearly laid out his demands: $200,000 in negotiable American currency, 4 parachutes, and a fuel truck ready to go when they land in Seattle. So the crew radioed the ground. The flight was diverted to Seattle-Tacoma International Airport. Once they landed, Cooper eventually proved to be a man of his word. He exchanged all 36 passengers for the money and the parachutes. And in this time, the FBI was scrambling, but Cooper remained calm and cool. And he actually even ordered a bourbon and soda while he held the flight crew hostage, which is insane. After the plane was refueled, he ordered the pilots take off again, this time heading for Mexico City. He gave him a specific flight configuration: fly below 10,000 feet with the landing gear down, flaps at 15 degrees. That would allow them to fly at a low speed and a low enough altitude for him to be able to jump from the plane. So as the jet flew south between Seattle and Reno, somewhere over the dense, dark forests of southwestern Washington, he made his final move, where he ordered the remaining flight crew into the cockpit and told them to stay there. So then he did something that was only possible on that specific model of aircraft, the Boeing 727. He lowered the rear air stair from the plane, built-in staircase on the back of the jet, and then opened the cabin directly to the night sky, right? So Cooper strapped on a parachute, tied the heavy bag of cash to himself, and in a move that has since become legendary, he stepped off the stairs into a 200-mile-per-hour slipstream and completely disappeared. The plane landed safely, but Cooper was gone, completely gone, vanished. So the FBI immediately launched one of its longest and most exhaustive and extensive investigations, codenamed Norjack. So they searched the wilderness for any sign of him: a body, a parachute, a stray dollar, but they could not find anything at all. Nothing. The search was enormous, involved hundreds of soldiers, FBI agents, local police, everyone who combed the rugged terrain of that area, and they found nothing. For 9 years, it seemed like he just evaporated into aviation folklore. Then in 1980, the case was actually blown wide open, where a young boy digging the sand along the Columbia River found a rotting bundle of cash, $5,800 in $20 bills, and then FBI analysis of the serial numbers confirmed that it was part of Cooper's ransom money. But this discovery just deepened the mystery, didn't really actually solve anything. It just ended up raising a lot more questions, like how did this fraction of money end up on the riverbank, miles away from the projected drop zone? Did he lose some? Did he land, try and bury some, escape with the rest? No one really knows. And then the only other significant piece of physical evidence left was his black JCPenney clip-on tie. And in years since, scientists have pulled a partial DNA profile from it. But so far, it doesn't match anyone in the database. So, who is this guy, right? Over the decades, there's been lots of theories that have piled up. Some think he's an experienced paratrooper, ex-military, knew what he was doing, while some people argue the exact opposite, that his aviation knowledge was flawed and he was an amateur who was not likely to survive. But they point out that jumping at 10,000 feet into a freezing storm at night over treacherous terrain and wearing only a business suit, right, would not be the choice of a seasoned professional. One of the most famous suspects in this case was Richard Floyd McCoy Jr., who pulled off a nearly identical hijacking actually months later, but he was caught and convicted, and the FBI ruled him out due to mismatched physical descriptions. Another popular theory is that Cooper was an airline employee, maybe a mechanic or cargo handler who knew the Boeing 727 inside and out. So that would kind of explain his specific knowledge to the plane's flight capabilities and characteristics and the unique function of the rear air stair, which that's a feature that most commercial jets don't even have. Very few planes have that, and they don't really make any with that today. But if he wasn't any of these people and he was just an ordinary guy who got incredibly lucky and then spent the rest of his days living off of his stolen fortune, the possibilities of what could be out there, I feel, are what make this story so captivating. So that happened in 1971. Fast forward to 2016. After 45 years, the FBI finally announced that it was suspending its active investigation into Dan Cooper, but the case isn't technically closed. So they're still going to examine any serious physical evidence that will surface. But for now, the manhunt is over. His true identity remains unknown. His fate is a complete mystery. And no one really knows what happened. There's not really any clear answers. No one saw him on the ground. No one knows who he is. So all that we're left with really are questions. And he in the aviation community is kind of a folklore, a tale that obviously did happen. But his story brings up a lot more questions than answers. So I just want to leave you guys with a question that you can reply to down in the comments. What do you think happened to Dan Cooper? Do you think he actually pulled off the impossible escape with the money? Or do you think the brutal conditions of his jump that night led him to his ultimate fate, which would be his death? I look forward to hearing you guys in the comments. This has been very fun to research and go over. And I'm very excited to make more content like this, bringing you guys mysteries, not only on the aviation side, which is the field that I'm in, but also in just, modern mysteries, modern day topics. And by modern, I mean current day topics. So appreciate you guys for watching. Everyone be safe out there. Take care. And we'll see you later.
Hard working every day. I'm stressed out 24/7, babe. No time face in Hawaii. With you, Hawaii. With you, Hawaii. With you, Hawaii. I need a summer breeze, some fresh air to put my mind at ease. No cares. You wanna come with me? Me and you go to our favorite tree. Are you ready now? We jump on a plane now. We're taking away. Yeah, we're taking away. Don't hesitate now. We're taking away. Yeah, we're taking away. We'll never come down. We're going away. Yeah, we're going away. You and me. Feeling the sun on my face in a way.